All right, so we've got this stack of meeting minutes you sent over,
Yeah.
and we're going to really try to help you figure out how to report to Mr. Wu.
Yeah,
It sounds like he's got a really particular style and wants things a certain way.
absolutely.
And we've got notes here going all the way back to July of 2023, so it's a pretty good span of time.
Yeah, from 2023 to November 2024. So we should get a pretty good idea of what he likes to see.
Yeah, and, just even skimming through it quickly, it seems like the guy really likes
Oh, yeah.
things done a certain way, so...
Yeah, I mean, one thing that jumps out right away is this SMART principle. It seems to be his, go-to framework for everything.
Yeah, so for our listeners out there who maybe need a little refresher on SMART,
Sure.
it stands for
Specific.
the specific, measurable, achievable,
Yes.
relevant, and time-bound.
Time-bound, exactly.
Got it.
And it's not just like a theoretical thing for him. I mean, looking at the June 28, 2024 meeting,
Right.
he actually gets visibly frustrated with someone proposing like a really vague objective.
Yeah.
And he wants to see concrete goals, clear timelines.
Yeah.
How does this connect back to the overall company strategy?
Right. It's kind of like when in that same meeting, actually, someone suggested a team-building thing to boost morale.
Oh, yeah.
And he immediately asks, how does this translate into...
Measurable improvements in efficiency.
Right.
Got it.
He wants to see that impact.
He's all about impact, not just good intentions.
Exactly.
And this kind of leads us to another big theme that we see throughout these meeting minutes, which is this real emphasis on data-driven decisions.
He wants to see the numbers.
Yes.
He doesn't want your gut feeling or your, anecdotes.
If it's not documented, it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. He actually says that.
He does in the November 2024 meeting.
If it's not documented, it didn't happen.
It's funny, but he's got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, in a fast-paced business environment, you need data to track progress.
For sure.
To identify problems and to make informed decisions.
Yeah. And it's not just about presenting the data, it's about putting it in context.
Yes.
And the October 31st meeting really highlights this.
Yeah.
Mr. Wu's pushing for reports that not only show, hey, we achieved these results, but also talk about the cost.
Right. The resources involved.
Time personnel.
Yep.
What were the original projections for gains in efficiency versus what actually happened?
He's looking at the whole picture.
He wants the full picture.
Yeah. It's like he wants a cost-benefit analysis for every single action.
Wow.
Which is super valuable for you because when you're putting your reports together, you don't just want to highlight the wins, quantify the resources involved, analyze the efficiency of your approach.
So interesting. It seems like Mr. Wu is a real big picture thinker.
He is.
But also very detail-oriented.
Absolutely. And speaking of details...
Processes.
Oh my gosh, he is obsessed with them.
Yeah, it's like that April 15th meeting.
Yeah.
When that manager deviated from the agreed-upon process.
Right.
Didn't even report the change.
Even though the outcome was positive.
Positive outcome.
And Mr. Wu is not happy.
Not happy.
It's like he's saying even a slight tweak can have unintended consequences down the line.
Yeah, you just got to be careful.
You got to be super careful with processes because inconsistent processes lead to unpredictable outcomes.
Totally.
And remember that recurring payment issue from July 2023?
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Mr. Wu wasn't satisfied with just monitoring it weekly. He wanted a permanent solution.
He wanted to fix the root cause.
He wants to address the root cause.
Not just put a Band-Aid on it.
Not a Band-Aid solution. And he wants to see that same proactive problem-solving mindset reflected in your work.
So it's not just about following the rules. It's about understanding why the rules exist.
Yeah.
And then saying, hey, can I make this better?
Exactly. And that leads us to another key insight.
Okay.
Mr. Wu values proactive problem solvers, not just passive task executors.
Right.
He literally says in the February 2024 meeting, promotions are earned through proactive problem identification and resolution.
So he wants people to come to him with solutions, not just problems.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's that great example from the August 18th meeting.
Yeah.
Where he praises a team for capitalizing on a competitor's pricing change to attract new users.
They saw an opportunity and they took initiative.
Right. They didn't wait for instructions. They were like, hey, we can do this.
He loves that.
Mr. Wu loves that.
It all comes down to demonstrating that you're not just doing what you're told. You're thinking ahead, anticipating challenges coming up with solutions before they become problems.
All right, so we've covered a lot already.
Yeah.
Seems like Mr. Wu has high expectations.
He does.
Especially when it comes to reporting.
Absolutely.
He wants to see those SMART goals very clearly define
Yeah.
data
Yeah.
to back up every decision,
Data.
meticulous process adherence,
Yeah.
and a proactive approach to problem solving.
100% he does. And there's one more crucial element that we need to discuss, and that is his communication style.
Right.
But for that, you'll have to wait for part 2.
Okay, so we were talking about all of Mr. Wu's high expectations.
Yes.
Especially for reporting.
Especially for reporting.
So where do we go from here?
Well, the last piece of the puzzle, and it's a big one, is understanding how Mr. Wu likes to communicate.
Right.
And these meeting minutes really reveal a very clear preference for clarity,
Okay.
conciseness,
Uh-huh.
and a real laser focus on key takeaways.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that before, right? With how much he loves data
Exactly.
and measurable results.
He wants to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
I mean, in the July 7, 2023 meeting,
Yeah.
he actually uses that phrase. He says he wants reports that cut to the chase.
Right.
Avoid unnecessary jargon or technical details.
Yeah, no fluff.
No fluff.
Yeah.
He wants the information to be easy to understand.
And actionable.
And actionable, exactly.
And it's interesting because Mr. Wu comes from a very technical background himself.
He does.
And in the October 31st meeting,
Yeah.
he actually compares delegating tasks to programming in AI.
That's right.
He wants that same level of clarity and precision.
Yes. Think of it like providing the right inputs to get the desired output.
Okay.
So when you're structuring your reports for Mr. Wu,
Yeah.
think about context, roles, objectives, key results, and areas for improvement.
Got it. So no rambling.
No rambling.
No burying the lead.
Absolutely.
Just clear, concise communication.
That highlights the most important points.
The need to know information.
The need to know, and think about how you can present this visually as well.
Oh, yeah?
Executive summaries, bullet points, visuals that make the data pop.
Beta visualization.
Data visualization is key for Mr. Wu.
So we've got smart goals,
Yes.
data-driven decision-making,
Check.
meticulous processes,
Check.
proactive problem solving,
Yeah.
and concise communication.
It's a lot, but are there any other insights in these meeting minutes that we can pull out that might be helpful?
Ooh, yeah, good question.
One thing that I notice is that Mr. Wu really dislikes what he calls experience-based assumptions.
Okay.
So in the November 29th, 2024 meeting, he actually says that relying on traditional practices just isn't enough.
Interesting.
He wants to see continuous iteration and improvement.
So it's not enough to just follow the process.
Yeah.
You actually have to be thinking, how can I make this process better?
You need to be thinking about how to make it better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's encouraging a mindset of constant learning and optimization.
He wants people to question the assumptions.
Yes, and to always be looking for ways to refine their processes, even if they've been in place for years.
This makes me think of that quote from the September 26th meeting where he talks about learning to be lazy.
Oh, yes.
At first I was like, what?
I know.
But now it makes sense.
He's not talking about laziness in the traditional sense.
Right.
He's talking about strategic laziness.
Working smarter, not harder.
Working smarter, not harder, exactly. He wants his team to find ways to streamline processes and automate repetitive tasks.
Finding those shortcuts that don't compromise quality.
Exactly, like reusing templates, leveraging previous data, finding creative ways to automate parts of your work.
And this ties back into his interest in AI.
It does.
In that same meeting, he talks about using AI not just for, completing tasks, but also for communication and learning.
Yes, he sees it as a tool for continuous improvement and efficiency.
He's really forward-thinking.
He's constantly pushing his team to evolve and find better ways to work.
So it's not enough to just do the job.
Yeah.
You've got to show him that you're thinking critically about the process, looking for ways to improve.
Yes.
Embrace new technologies.
Embrace new technologies, exactly.
Continuous improvement, embracing technology, challenging the status quo.
That's Mr. Wu in a nutshell.
Okay, so is there anything else? What about his leadership style or how he gives feedback?
Oh, definitely. There's one more crucial element to Mr. Wu's management style that we need to address.
Okay, lay it on me.
Transparency and directness in communication.
You mean no beating around the bush?
No beating around the bush. He's not a fan of sugarcoating or ambiguity.
He's just straight to the point.
In the August 29th, 2024 meeting, he explicitly states that problems and goals should be discussed openly.
Interesting.
He wants his team to be upfront about challenges and to work together to find solutions.
So a culture of honesty and accountability.
Exactly. Everyone knows what's expected of them, and there's no room for misinterpretation or hidden agendas.
Okay, so we've uncovered a lot about Mr. Wu.
We have
He values data efficiency, transparency,
continuous improvement.
continuous improvement. But how does all this translate into an actual strategy for our listener?
Right. how can they use all this knowledge to create reports that Mr. Wu will not just approve, but be impressed by?
Yeah. What's the secret?
Well, for that, you'll have to wait for the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we spent the last 2 parts really getting to know Mr. Wu through all of these meeting minutes. We've talked about his core principles, his communication style, even his leadership philosophy. But now, for the million-dollar question.
Yes.
How do we take all this and turn it into something useful for our listener?
Right. How do we make this actionable?
Yeah.
Well, I think the key is understanding not just what Mr. Wu says,
Right.
but how he says it.
Okay.
So let's look at some of the patterns in his feedback. What consistently gets him excited and what really sets off those alarm bells.
Okay, so a deep dive on Mr. Wu's feedback style.
Exactly.
What have you noticed?
Well, one thing that really jumps out is how much he values initiative.
Okay.
When he sees someone going above and beyond, taking ownership, anticipating needs, he lights up.
Yeah, like that example from the August 18th, 2023 meeting,
Right.
where the team capitalized on that competitor's pricing change.
Oh, yeah, he loved that.
They didn't just react, they saw the opportunity and they went for it.
And he specifically calls out their proactive approach.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-off thing. I mean, in the September 26th meeting, he praises someone for working smarter, not harder.
So showing initiative.
Yes.
Thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box.
Finding those efficient solutions.
Yes. That's a direct path to Mr. Wu's good graces.
Got it. So on the other hand, what seems to really bug him.
Oh, what really gets under his skin is a lack of transparency.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to problems.
Interesting.
He actually uses this phrase, weakening the severity of problems.
Wow.
To describe this tendency to downplay issues or avoid those tough conversations.
So it's not just about making mistakes, it's about how you handle them.
It's about owning up to them.
Right.
Remember the April 15th meeting where that manager deviates from the process?
Yeah.
Even though the outcome was fine? Mr. Wu is not happy because the change wasn't reported.
He wants to know what's going on.
He wants transparency. He wants that honesty and accountability.
It makes sense, though, right? If you're trying to hide your problems, you can't learn from them.
Exactly. You can't prevent them from happening again.
So honesty, transparency, a willingness to tackle those challenges head on.
That's how you build trust with Mr. Wu.
Okay. I'm getting it now.
So remember all those insights that we've gathered about Mr. Wu's preferences?
Yeah.
This is where they all come together.
Okay.
Let's create a roadmap for our listener, a step-by-step guide to delivering reports that will truly impress Mr. Wu.
Okay, I love an action plan.
All right, step 1, internalize the SMART framework.
SMART goals.
Every goal, every objective, every deliverable.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Exactly. No more vague goals or loosey-goosey timelines.
Got it.
Step 2, become a data ninja.
Okay.
Mr. Wu's world revolves around data.
Right.
So make sure every conclusion is backed up by solid evidence.
So charts, graphs, percentages.
The whole 9 yards, make those numbers sing.
Make them sing.
But don't just present the data, analyze it, extract those insights, connect the dots, tell a story.
Data storytelling.
Show Mr. Wu that you're not just reporting the numbers, you're understanding what they mean.
So we've got data visualization and data storytelling.
Exactly. Paint that picture with those numbers.
Okay, what else?
Now remember Mr. Wu's love of processes?
Oh, yeah.
Embrace it. Show him that you're not only following established procedures, but you're also thinking about how to make them better.
Right.
Don't be afraid to suggest improvements.
Yeah.
Even small tweaks that could enhance efficiency.
Proactive process optimization.
Proactive process optimization.
Proactive process optimization. I
Yes,
like that.
I like you.
And of course, never underestimate the power of clear, concise communication.
Right. Get to the point.
Think executive summaries.
Bullet points.
Key takeaways.
Make it easy to read.
Make it easy for Mr. Wu to digest that information quickly.
So no rambling, no burying the lead.
Absolutely.
Just that essential information presented in a very structured way.
Exactly. And here's the secret sauce.
Go ahead.
The thing that will really set you apart.
Tell me.
Embrace transparency.
Okay.
Be upfront about those challenges.
Yeah.
Don't try to hide problems.
Don't sweep them under the rug.
Instead, demonstrate your problem-solving skills.
Show him you can handle it.
Show Mr. Wu that you're not afraid to face those tough issues head-on.
And that you've got the skills and the initiative to find those solutions.
But bring him solutions, not problems.
Exactly, by combining all of these elements.
The SMART goals.
Data-driven approach.
Process awareness.
Clear communication and that commitment to transparency.
It's a lot.
You'll not only deliver reports that Mr. Wu will approve, but you'll create work that truly aligns with his vision.
This has been incredible.
It has.
We went from just deciphering meeting minutes
I know.
to really developing a strategic framework for exceeding Mr. Wu's expectations.
And that's what this deep dive is all about, empowering you with the knowledge and the insights to navigate your workplace with confidence and achieve those goals.
So by applying all these insights, you'll not only impress Mr. Wu, you'll elevate your overall performance and unlock new opportunities for growth within your company.
Exactly. So go forth and conquer.
Go get 'em.
And until next time, keep diving deep.
This is the Deep Dive signing off.